will Zelda Wii U make an appearance at E3 2015? With the advent of Nintendo delaying the game to an unspecified date, and the reveal that Zelda Wii U won't be making an appearance at E3 has led to a plethora of rumors. E3 2015 is just around the corner. Like every pre-E3 period, there are copious amounts of rumors and supposed leaked information. To battle the rumor mill, we have HMK, 1010 Man, and GameOverJesse. Speaking first about Zelda Wii U speculation, one particular rumor is gaining a lot of momentum. This rumor comes from a supposed GameStop employee. Not only has this rumor stated that Zelda Wii U will make an appearance at the event, but apparently a new trailer and Amiibo support will also be featured. Additionally, the overworld of the game will also be displayed. One interesting thing about this rumor is that it does state that a new Mario game will be revealed at the event. So what do you guys think about all this?
Yo, dude, I would totally be down. This Zelda Wii U being shown off at E3, because if you guys don't know, this is my first ever E3. I'm gonna be there. Even if we get like something as small as a concept art like we did with Skyward Sword in E3 2009, I'll be happy with that. But the whole like story surrounding Zelda Wii U being at E3 from a quote-unquote casual conversation between a Nintendo rep and a GameStop employee, that just sounds whole hella fishy. I mean, like, why would a Nintendo rep know all this, and why would he tell all of this to a GameStop employee as casual conversation? Like, the only thing that comes to mind if this were actually true would be like, hey, heads up, Zelda Wii U pre-orders should start soon because Nintendo is gonna, you know, actually reveal some good information, so you guys better gear up and ready, and here's some pointers that you should know if anyone asks you. That's the only thing that I think comes to mind, and even then, that is definitely overreaching.
Here's my thought. Every rumor we're getting nowadays, there's no credibility. Before any direct comes out from Nintendo, everyone is expecting these insane things that have been spread by word of mouth that no one knew anything about. Then everyone has these huge, you know, dreams of what they're going to see, and they get let down. And I doubt any Nintendo reps being an ex-GameStop manager. The Nintendo reps who come into the stores, they don't know really anything more than the employees at GameStop. They know they do their job, they get some free stuff, and they work for Nintendo. It's a great job, but they don't know what's going to go on at E3. And more than likely, it was just a GameStop employee that wanted some attention. There was no credibility. Nintendo themselves has already told us what we should expect on E3. They have things that they're planning on, unveiling. They've got things they're putting their ambitions into, and I don't think we're going to see anything on Zelda. And these rumors like to circulate, and they get shut down every day.
While we're on the subject of E3 predictions, there has been talk of a new Animal Crossing game coming to the Wii U. Supporting information comes from an Engadget interview with Nintendo's Hisashi Nogami. In summary, this interview alludes to a possibility of a reveal of a new Animal Crossing. Perhaps Animal Crossing will make an appearance at the event. Also, there has been some F-Zero talk as well, since both games have appeared in past Mario Kart 8 DLC. Is there a connection here?
I'm thinking that there's two ways we can go about this. I think there's going to be another Mario game, and people are going to shut me down and say Miyamoto said there was no new Mario game. Well, they also said that last E3 we weren't going to get any new Mario games. It's been an entire year with no mainstream title. The Wii U needs it. They make the team that makes these Mario games can make them so efficiently in such a small amount of time that I don't think Mario Maker is going to be our Mario title for the winter. I feel like, or even next year, I feel like we're going to see something with the Italian plumber, and it's not just going to be focused on Star Fox or hopefully, you know, Metroid or anything else that's going about in the rumors. I do feel like we will see another Mario.
You know, pertaining to that, who here has seen the movie The Wizard? Yeah, like Joystick Warriors. It's a movie based on the Nintendo World Championship way back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh right.
They actually used that movie to show off Super Mario Bros. 3 for the first time.
Exactly. You know, they revealed Super Mario Bros. 3 for the first time in the North American audience at that tournament. So I'm thinking, like, you know, with the Nintendo World Championship 2015 happening before E3, I feel like Nintendo has a huge announcement, a huge Mario-related announcement at the event. So I do believe, you know, a lot of people did say that, not a lot of people, but Nintendo did say we're not getting a Mario game this year. That doesn't mean they can announce one this year and gear up for next year. And, you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 was at the Nintendo World Championship way back in the day. I think that we might get a Super Mario Galaxy 3 announcement Sunday before E3. What do you guys think about that?
You know, I'm really glad you brought up that point. Curious enough, there has been talk of a new Paper Mario game coming out as well.
Well, with the status of that rumor, apparently it was an Intelligent Systems employee that was sitting at, I think it was a coffee shop or something, and someone asked him what he was working on, and he said Paper Mario. That's really, as far as the rumors we've gotten, that's pretty random.
Yeah.
You can't say, sure, there's no huge credible source. We don't know the employee's name, and hopefully if that rumor is true, that employee still has his job. I feel like there's no real way to disprove or prove this rumor. It's just something to make us excited and something to make us look forward to E3, because we all know it has been a while since we've gotten a Paper Mario game. Sticker Star was on the 3DS. It was, with the amount of content in that game, I'm sure it didn't take as much development time as, say, Thousand Year Door. The only thing I would be worried about would be the actual lifetime of the Wii U and what Intelligent Systems is already working on themselves to be able to fit in a Paper Mario game.
Segueing to other predictions, I'm either banking or hoping on a new Metroid reveal, whether it is on the Wii U or 3DS. There has been talk of Metroid Wii U replacing Zelda Wii U ever since the delay, and I was wondering, what are you guys' thoughts about this?
I feel like Metroid has a lot of content. It's a big game. I don't feel like they're going to dish out a Metroid this year. I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen a Metroid. We definitely, by this time, all the fans, we need a Metroid game. We need to see, Samus back in action. But with the amount of work it would take to put out one, if anything, if we get anything at E3, we will get a trailer. We will not get a release date this year. That is what I feel.
I would totally not hate the idea of a Metroid Prime 4 because, Retro Studios did say that they're still working on some sort of project. And with the blunder that was Other M, I definitely would like to see them return to the Prime series because I adore that series of games. So, Metroid Prime 4, they integrate the gamepad for some cool new things, visors and scanning and whatnot. Optional aiming with the gyroscope of the Wii U gamepad, and I would definitely love a Metroid Prime 4. But like Tenten said, definitely we'll see a trailer. Not a lot of stuff points towards a Metroid game that's coming out anytime soon. I definitely get the idea that people would assume that Nintendo would bust out one of their biggest IPs to fill the void that Zelda Wii U has left with not showing up at E3 2015. But would Metroid be that game? I'm not entirely sure.
You know what would be awesome, since you were describing Metroid Prime 4? What if they made on the Wii U I don't know if you guys liked the whole Metroidvania style game, but a 2.5D game, a whole full-fledged title on the Wii U with Metroid. Hunters and, scanning and the navigation and stuff. It would be great with the, get your map on the touchpad, and I don't know, it would be great. I would definitely love that.
Now let's talk about stuff we do know about E3. We will probably get more info about Star Fox. My question is, where is the series going to go? Will it be rebooted, or will the story continue from the previous games?
Oh boy, I just released the video today about it. I really don't know where the story is going to happen, because I don't know if you guys played Star Fox Command. That game has 9 freaking endings, and some of them are some of the most f***ed up endings I have ever seen in video games. And I really don't know how they're gonna go along with this, because apparently, according to the quote-unquote, I'm using heavy quotation marks here, the quote-unquote default ending of the game has Crystal leaving Fox for Star Wolf, and that's the default ending that you get. You can only get that game ending when you beat the game the first time. The only way to unlock the other endings is to beat the game once, and that's the only ending you get when you beat the game the first time. I'm like, Jesus. So, I don't really know what they're gonna do story-wise. Nintendo's always been those people's gameplay first, story later. Maybe they just might, not even consider Command to be canon and just pick up where Assault left off. I don't know.
I feel like they're gonna play it safe, and when the new Star Fox comes out, it's been a long time since we've got a Star Fox game. They're gonna appeal to both the old school Star Fox fans and try and bring in new fans. And it's just, I feel like it's going to involve its own story and not really have any canon correlation to the other games. I feel like you're just going to go in as Fox, you're going to go in a mission, you're going to have an objective, you're going to have an enemy, and it's not really going to touch on any kind of backstory. Star Fox, I know there are a few games that delve into a backstory, and then there's some games that it's just so involved in the gameplay, and as long as you know who you're shooting and why you're shooting, you have enough motivation. And the stories from Star Fox, especially with all those endings, can get so convoluted, where I feel like probably in Nintendo's best interest, and Miyamoto as far as his view in games, and I know he doesn't want to have, he likes story in games, but he really likes to pave the way with gameplay. I feel like Star Fox, if anything, will give us something new and not really go on the back story of the previous games. It has been a long time since we've seen a new chapter in the story.
Also, around E3, we will be getting more info about Yooka-Laylee. But one thing I want to point out about Playtonic, the members of Playtonic are former members over at Rare. They left the company and eventually developed their own project. Interestingly enough, Koji Igarashi, a designer behind the Castlevania series, grew frustrated with Konami. He left as a result. He set up a Kickstarter for his game Bloodstained, and it became successful. So are we seeing a pattern here?
It's only a pattern if, you know, the big publishers decide to be dumb with their IPs and not give it the love they deserve. If they want to be dumb, we've already seen it. I've already said this before, we've seen it. Yooka-Laylee succeeded. My number 9 succeeded. Bloodstained is succeeding right now. Publishers want to be dumb with their IPs. Their developers have every right, apparently, to just, you know, defect and say, you know, hey guys, already crowdfund this game, since they don't want to do it anymore. And, you know, people are willing to give their money out to these guys and, you know, get the product they really want and who that developer thinks they deserve. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a trend if the publishers decide to continue to be stupid with their IPs.
I think the most important thing that you said there was the developers being dumb, because in the interviews that I've seen with Iga, he said that he pitched the ideal to Konami, and Konami stated over and over again, mobile gaming is the future of gaming, and nobody would be interested in playing his ideal for Bloodstained, or at the time it was just another Castlevania style game. And then he took it out to developer and they all turned him down. He said he got turned down by like 16 different companies because they said nobody would pay to play a Castlevania style game anymore.
Speaking about Yooka-Laylee, what do you guys think about Yooka-Laylee making an appearance in Smash Brothers?
Nintendo's opinion on them, their view on them. If Nintendo thinks they're up for it, it could happen that Yooka-Laylee could wind up in Smash Brothers, because we've seen that before, where Nintendo or companies put characters that yet to have a game in a game to promote that game coming out soon. With Roy in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Star Killer in Soul Calibur 4, and DMC Dante in PlayStation All Stars. So it's definitely in the realm of possibility they could do that.
My opinion with Yooka-Laylee and Smash is Yooka-Laylee is not a Wii U exclusive. At this point, we don't even know if Yooka-Laylee. Do we know if Yooka-Laylee is going to have gamepad support? It's just Playtonic Games. They might be partial to Nintendo, you know, because of the old days with Rare, a lot of the old, you know, developers. But it's coming out in every console. Yooka-Laylee being in Smash, honestly, in the last time I spoke to you guys, I was saying that I don't see Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash. But I would see Banjo and Kazooie being in Smash more so than Yooka-Laylee, just because they actually have a Nintendo history. Yooka-Laylee is going to be on every system. They would be great for them if they got Yooka-Laylee in Smash, but I don't think there's any reason to put them in there.
Speaking about E3, this is probably a given, but new Amiibos will probably be revealed. Do you think there will be a market crash for Amiibos?
It's gonna continue.
Yeah, the only way an Amiibo is going to lose any value is if Nintendo keeps them in stock. I mean, honestly, the reason a lot of people are collecting Amiibos are because they're rare. People want them. They want to get them right when they come out. Wave 4, from what I've heard and what I've noticed and what I've experienced, is the first wave that people really started just camping at like 2 a.m. to get the Amiibos that they felt they couldn't get. And some people were camping to get Amiibos they already pre-ordered. I myself went into Target and camped there at 6 a.m. I was the first person in line. By the time we came in, there were 15 people. There was a huge mob. There was no order. There was no line. People were ripping them off the walls. There was an old man putting them in shopping carts. There was a kid crying. It was ridiculous. And seeing firsthand what Amiibos are doing to people, it's insane, man. And I'm part of the problem too. I've got over 40 of them. And you guys, I do giveaways and stuff, but I've got 4 Jigglypuffs that people are killing each other for.
Scalper.
No, I'm not. It's funny because I went there, and when people were killing each other for Silver Mario and Lucina, I was like, "You guys have no limit on Amiibos, right? Can I get 2 Jigglypuffs? All right, can I get 2 more? You know, and that's exactly what I did.
My friend, who's another YouTuber named Skyward Wing, he owns every single amiibo ever released. He even has Dark Pit, Palutena, and Ganondorf. And he completed his collection 2 days ago by camping out for 7 hours in front of the Nintendo World Store to get Greninja. And I'm like, you have a problem. And he's like, I know.
How early they were camping out? Didn't they start? The line started at like 11 a.m. for the midnight launch.
Yeah.
200 people there by 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's why I'm buying amiibos, because they're fun. You know, the only amiibos that I own right now is Link, Zelda, Sheik, and Splatoon Boy. I'm looking for Toon Link. Apparently, like, no one has them, which is stupid. And I told myself, if I'm gonna get more amiibos, I'm just gonna finish the Zelda set first, and I'm not gonna buy any more amiibos. But I kind of broke that with the Splatoon, and the only reason why I did that is to get that armor. And so, yeah, I really like amiibos, but the thing, I really hate how people are handling them, because those scalpers are just stupid. And the way that they took down that truck was idiotic. I'm like, geez, are you really gonna, you know, hold up a truck and commit a heist for toys?
Well, it's like Nintendo doesn't give them much choice, though, when every store is getting 4 Lucinas and 40 Charizards. What's up with that, you know? I mean, that means there's potentially 36 people who are going to be going crazy at just one store, going online to Craigslist. I went to Craigslist this morning just to have fun with it, and people were selling Inkling Boy for $30. Really? Like, are you kidding me?
Have you heard Amazon and Nintendo had some weird deal worked out where they would start selling one amiibo figure and it would be on sale for like 30 minutes or something like that, and then the next day it would go on sale for another 30 minutes. That way it'll stop scalpers and other people that are just trying to mass hoard them all.
They did that yesterday for Wave 4, and what ended up happening was I think Lucina sold out in 14 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they sold Lucina from like 4 to 4:30, and it didn't last until 4:01. It was stupid. I mean, with the rate at Villagers going for what, $90 now, you steal 2 cases. That's 8 Villagers. That's some good money, you know.
And in the meantime, I bet Nintendo has warehouses full of all these so-called rare amiibos. I bet they all probably got the same print. They're just holding on to them, making it seem like they're rare, so more people will buy them when they actually come out.
To be fair, I'd believe Nintendo if they told me they printed out, you know, 10 times the amount of Marios than they did, you know, Lucina. That just makes sense because he's Mario. He's always gonna sell. But they should at least attempt to meet up with supply and demand. That is what's driving people crazy. I kind of want to ask, though, what do you guys think about Nintendo continuing to not actually have any more press conferences? They just do directs.
That's a really good question. I love the Twilight Princess reveal when Miyamoto came on stage holding a Master Sword. Right now, Nintendo is just focusing on Nintendo Directs. Whether or not they will return to a live conference, that remains to be seen, but I feel like they will alternate between the two at some point.
I feel like Nintendo's continuing to show, at least, you know, Nintendo of America, that they're just very in tune with, you know, the viewer base. You know, the E3 announcement this year where, you know, Reggie went to train and they put that like 10-year-old kid as the new president, you know, of Nintendo. They're really good about doing these kinds of things, and directs go right into that. Like when Reggie and Iwata were fighting Smash Bros style with Amiibos, you know, that does give them the freedom that they don't have in the press conferences. They're just very, very smart about it. And while, yeah, seeing a pre-made video is not as exciting all the time, I feel like they do know what they're doing, and I don't fault them for it like a lot of people do.
To wrap up everything we have said here, we might be seeing some Zelda Wii U content, but don't get your hopes up. A possible new Mario game might be revealed. Maybe we'll get some Animal Crossing, which my friend Nice Pasta has referenced. Other rumors like F-Zero and Paper Mario are really up in the air at this point. And of course we'll get Star Fox, but what do you guys think in the comments? What do you think we will see at E3?
Segueing to what you guys think of the comments, this particular discussion video is brought to you all by our friendly sponsors over at OpinionOutpost.com.
You know you like movies, TV shows, and other things of that sort. Basically, in this site you can actually offer your own reviews on these subjects.
In return from these reviews, you can actually earn some really neat rewards.
This sponsorship does go a long way to help us organize these discussions and delivering you all the highest quality content we can possibly muster. Check out the link to the website in the description. Thank you so much for supporting the discussion, guys. Anyways, I hope you all watching have a great rest of the day. And this has been M Productions,
HMK,
Ten Man.
GameOverJesse.
and we will see you guys another time. Have a good one.
Yay.
Thanks for watching this video, we had loads of fun discussing. Click the link to see what exactly is the latest Fire Emblem game. Until then, have a great rest of the day.